Hello all. Thought I'd share with you how I made my own bread proofing box for proofing bread, but mainly I made this one for uh, growing a sourdough starter or maturing one or fermenting one or whatever it does when it does its thing. Um, that process usually takes a week, and you have to tend to it every day, um, and temperature is very important. Last year I tried it, kept it on the counter in the kitchen. The kitchen's on the north side of the house. Didn't go so well. So the more and more I was reading about, you know, making your own starter, everyone said, oh, get one of these $200 things you sit on your counter and it does it for you. It keeps it right at, 75, 80, 70 degrees, whatever. Or you can put it in your oven with the light turned on. And that got me thinking. Our oven doesn't have that function. Our oven does have a light, but you have to open the door for it to come on. There's not a switch. So I didn't want to spend $200 on something that sits on the counter. And if I'm not good at making sourdough or whatever, then I just wasted a bunch of money. But I also didn't like leaving something while, going for a week. I mean, my wife and I both have full-time jobs. We can't sit here and babysit this thing all day and night. So I needed to have something that I could control, but had a couple redundancies as far as safety, and that's what I think I achieved here. So I think I spent $60 on everything, maybe a little bit more. Basically, this is a Coleman cooler that I got off of Amazon. It is a 48 quart. This was $20 or $21, I think. Got horrible reviews, and I could kind of see why. It doesn't even, over here we have this nice handle. Well, we have a handle. I don't know about how nice it is. And then on this side, we are sans a handle. So it didn't even come with a handle on the one side. And there's some damage here. Reviewers pointed out that the hinges are not replaceable. It's basically a piece of plastic that bends. It's pressed into the body of the cooler, and then there's screws, and I just took that off because I want the top to be removable anyway. So yeah, as a cooler, you might get a couple uses out of it, and then you throw it away. Or you could spend $300 on a Yeti and need to have your head examined for doing that, but whatever. So yeah, the cooler, $20, 21, I think. And this is a temperature controlled outlet with a remote sensor. So the little sensor goes down into the drain of the cooler with the power cord, feeding a light bulb, 25-watt light bulb. For the size of cooler, sorry, a bird just flew into my window. For the size cooler this is perfect. It's basically on a piece of wood so that it won't topple over. And it gives off enough heat. It actually gets really hot, but it gives off enough heat to heat this space, keep it whatever temperature I want. This is the sensor, excuse me, for the temperature. I kind of put it on, elevated it up there, put it about in the middle of the thing so that kind of gets a little bit more accurate reading. Now for the control, this is this thermostatically controlled outlet, and you set it to come on at a certain temperature and off at another temperature. You can set an alarm. There's all kinds of functions on it. I haven't really paid attention to what all it does, but it works really good. And the sensor is extremely responsive. I'll just grab it right quick with my hand so you can see how fast it changes. So it's at 77.5. I'm grabbing it right now, and just the temperature of my fingers is making it go up really quick. So it's very responsive, very accurate. Now, this is electronic, and I'm just not nuts. As I mentioned before, my wife and I both work full-time jobs. My wife actually works more than full-time. So I'm just not nuts about leaving this thing plugged in for a week to keep it at a certain temperature without some type of redundancy, and that's where this guy comes in. So this is the back side of an electrical box. So this plugs into the wall, which I have right up there. Plugs into the wall. Then your light bulb plugs into this, and then this feeds into this electrical box, and then this goes down to, I have basically a disconnect. Basically took an extension cord and cut it in half so that I can unplug this part and take the lid completely off. But what this is a bimetallic mechanical switch, thermostat switch. Holy shit, I almost dropped it. So that is set at, that's not set, it actually, there's only, one range that it works at, which is 40 degrees Celsius. You can buy them for all different types of temperatures. 40, I think, was the lowest I saw, which is 104, 105, I think, Fahrenheit. And it works really good. So basically what we've got is two switches controlling the same thing, and if one fails, then the other one will take its place. So and I tried it. It works really good. I put a 60-watt light bulb in it, and I turned this up to like 130 degrees, and at 96 degrees the light went out, and it didn't come back on until it was below 82, I think. So I think it's gonna work really good. It makes me feel better anyway, knowing that there's a redundancy on this thing. And I mean, granted, it's only a 25-watt light bulb, but still, in a closed space, that can get hot. And with it being plastic, I kind of didn't want to take any chances. So anyway, I think that this is going to work really good. Oh, the other thing I wanted to share with you guys was the type jars that you can use for your starters. I saw this online somewhere, and it really appealed to me because it's a glass jar that's tapered from the bottom up. Excuse me. So it'll be very easy to, mix your starter and feed your starter and keep the sides of the thing clean so that you can monitor its fermentation or air bubbliness or whatever. These jars are the brand Weck, and everything's metric. I guess that's the way to do when you become a baker, is everything's grams and stuff. These are 3/4 liter. I don't know what the 100 is. Maybe that's just the size they use. Not sure. But they come with a rubber thing in between. I took that off because I just want it sitting there so it has a little bit of air, a little bit of room to breathe there. And I was really impressed with these things because I weighed all of these jars, and they're all within 3 grams of each other, which is insane. I mean, a gram is like a paper clip. So the other thing is they're all individually numbered. I don't know if you can see that, but that says 13. And they're not like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but you will have 6 that are in the box when you buy them from Amazon. Oops, sorry, my finger. You will have 6 that are in the box that will have different numbers, which is really neat because I plan on doing multiple different starters at the same time, a rye, a wheat, a white, and I can keep track of them without having to put a piece of tape on it or write with a Sharpie. So I can just record, that number 13 is the rye, number 20 whatever is the wheat, and then just keep track of it that way. So I thought that was pretty neat. But anyway, that's going to be my setup. I will keep you guys posted with how it goes. Wish me luck, because last time it was a disaster.